is Alan Hankinson. I'm the Community Case Manager with the Community Transitional Services Department here at the Chrysalis Center. I'm a part of a reentry team within the reentry system here in Connecticut. We work underneath the direction of the Department of Corrections. We receive direct referrals from the Special Management Unit. I was drawn to this field, and I was drawn to my field of study, which is sociology, because growing up as an African American youth in the greater Baltimore area was very difficult. There were a lot of challenges to being able to develop as a young person. And one of the main things was the absence of a strong culture. Because when you refer to yourself as Black, that is not a nationality, that doesn't designate any language, it doesn't designate any geography or any culture. I mean, what is Black? What does it mean to be African American? So I went to college to study those things, to obtain a degree in sociology so I could answer some questions for myself, to give myself a lens, to be able to understand what is impacting my life and the lives of the people around me. Unfortunately, a lot of African American men have come in contact with the legal system in a very negative way. Unfortunately, through the absence of culture, we've begun to define ourselves along certain lines which may be described as dysfunctional. We delve into quote unquote hip hop culture, street culture. We engage in activities to supplement our incomes in ways which are illegal. And unfortunately, it creates a dynamic that perpetuates a very vicious cycle. I have a book that I want to introduce today. It's called The Man Not by Thomas J. Curry. And this explores race, class, and the dilemmas of Black manhood. And it's very hard for Black men to just simply be respected as men, not as a Black man, not as African American, but just a man. And unfortunately, our manhood has been misconstrued in a lot of ways. Some people have even recently said that heterosexual Black men are the oppressors of the Black community, something that I terribly disagree with. I think that what's happening amongst my people is very disturbing, and it produces a lot of questions. So it impacts my work in a lot of ways because I work directly with the criminal justice system, and I'm very interested in seeing individuals being successful in their ability to reintegrate back into the community as best as they can. Now, they need employment, they need housing, and they need a lot of support. And unfortunately, the deck is stacked against them in a lot of ways similar to the experience of being an African American male. So what I try to do is use my experience to help them to see where they're struggling and to be able to provide them with a level of support. It's not a lot of support out there for men of color, and we need to increase that level of support. We also need to be careful on a lot of the narratives that are being created right now, because some of these narratives are very destructive. I do believe that so-called Black men have a lot of work to do, and I'm very invested in being a part of that work. As you can see, there's a lot of literature being produced. A collective consciousness is starting to form together where we want to be able to describe ourselves in a positive way. We don't want to refer to ourselves as racial slurs. We don't want to be perceived as thugs and drug dealers. There's a lot of very articulate and successful Black men in this country who have done a lot of great and powerful things. And we need to start highlighting those people and those achievements in ways where we can reach the children of our community, and we could begin to reestablish a culture that strengthens our families and our community.